friendship allowed us to get to this point.
It was like definitely nerve-wracking.
It's me so proud as a mum and as a woman to actually see that, you know, I'm such a good role model for these girls.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the channel that is going to be brand new. This is our very first video, so we're like prepared but not prepared. But I'm going to get straight into it because we have got a little bit to unpack and dive into. I am sitting with members and founder of TC as well, Em and Steph, so I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
I'm Steph. I'm a member here at TC and have been since its inception, pretty much. And I also work over at Eden next door as a remedial massage therapist.
I'm Em. I am one of the founders and I am also a member. I was paying my membership for 6 months when we first began. Yeah. I'm also a mum and have the Pilates studios and Eden as well. But yeah, it's me.
So we're obviously going to sit down. As you can see, our ladies here have just finished Sydney Hyrox, and not only just finished, but came first in your age group, which is absolutely insane. I think the feeling is still sinking in for both of you. But before we kind of dive into that, sink into that, let's just start with like who you guys are, what you've been doing, what your training's been like, what it's like being Steph and Em. So Steph, do you want to start and give us a bit of a rundown on you and who you are, what you do and what it's like being a mum?
Yeah, sure. So Steph, I'm 37. I'm a mum of two. Got two girls, Zara and Isla, who are 7 and 4. I have a full-time job and also work part-time on my business, which is Elevated Remedial Massage Therapies. So I do remedial massaging. Started off doing a lot of sports, people from the gym, and I'm starting to venture into the realm of working with children because I love working with children. I basically train like 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. That is not what I'd recommend to my clients, but, do as I say, not as I do. Majority of my training days are with my kids here. So being a mum of two, my husband works long hours. He's also a soccer player himself, so he has a few days a week of training plus games on the weekend. So if I'm not at work, I'm here training and my two kids are here with me. So Em and I, every time we get to train together, all of our kids are here with us. So we don't even know what it's like to have a training day without them around. Don't even know the last time I was able to actually finish a class completely without having to stop and step into my mum's shoes. So, it's just one of those things that you just need to learn to navigate and you just need to do it, there's just no excuses. And I love it. I love having my girls here with me because now I've got my 7-year-old who is into running. So she started doing a lot of runs now. So she's done a couple of 5K fun runs herself. And that makes me proud as a mum to know that I'm having such a really positive influence on my girls and my kids and other kids around the gym to see, that as a mum, we can be strong, we can be confident, and we can instill those behaviours on our children as well. And having to do it with another fellow mum, who is an absolute gun at everything she does, my idol, it's incredible and it just pushes me further every day. So, yeah, that's pretty much a bit of a rundown on me.
Okay, so I'm 36, turning 37, I think. I get lost amongst the years. I got 2 biological and 2 step children. So there's 4 altogether. I mean, the other 2 now have moved out, so they're moving on with their lives, but leaving me in their dust. Yeah.
I still call my mum how to boil eggs. So.
Yeah, and that's fine. Yeah. We're here to help boil eggs. Yeah. Same thing. The kids are always here training with us. Pretty much because when you go for a run, they want to come with you. So you're trying to, focus on keeping that race pace on your runs, but you got these little steps that want to come with you and, there's importance in that. So, holding that space for them while you're training is important as well. I was working for the SES up until just recently and now just doing other contract work. But then obviously the 4 businesses now, which are going through, and just so grateful to have my best pad on board doing everything. I mean, I do just gently bully her into doing things.
Like 2 races in 48 hours?
And she just goes along with it, you know, a real tough cookie. But it's because I know how capable she is. And, you know, I admire Steph for just, like, she will come to the class and she knows she's got to get Zara to cheerleading and she can only fit in so much, but she'll still come and she'll still fit in as much as she can, and she'll do her intervals and be running in her garage and things like that. But yeah, so, you know, as much as she thinks I'm her idol, it's like the same thing, you know, there's always work on both sides. That's what makes a really good duo. But yeah, that's and my food bag makes a really good duo too. Bring the food for the kids. Yeah, and honey.
We'll get to
Bramwell's,
that.
yeah.
We'll get to that.
I want to quickly deep dive into what you were saying about your kids and them coming and training with you guys in the gym, because you did say that Zara is doing the 5K runs. I know you've done a few runs with Heidi and stuff, and it's so crazy to see, like, kids are such a creature of habit, and obviously you guys are here with them pretty much every day. And especially you and, like, owning the business, you're here every day either training or working, doing something else, same as you. Like, I've even seen the kids in, like, when we're doing massages and stuff, like, they're just in the waiting room, like, they are a creature of habit. So they're truly growing up with some inspirational women who are hardworking and, like, just crazy, honestly, crazy. But let's get into, because you did say that, Steph, you train pretty much 6 days a week. You're here pretty much every day. So let's dive a little bit into your training and what kind of a week of training looks like for you guys. So how many runs, how many Hyroxes, how many strengths, what do you guys got to do for it, etc.
So each week I try and keep it as similar as I possibly can, but it obviously varies depending on, obviously, work and life and children. So I try and keep as consistent as possible. We've got numerous Hyrox classes each week that we run, that we get to sit in. So that obviously allows me to build up on my ability to, you know, get faster and stronger at the stations. The one thing I'll be very open and honest about is I don't do enough strength, which Carly knows very well and truly that's the case. And it's something I'll be focusing on the next 6 months. But I definitely, that is an area that I want to do a little bit more in, but the problem is just the timing of the classes at the moment just doesn't work with my work schedule and things with the kids. I do a long run every Sunday, so that's usually anywhere between 10 to, you know, maybe 17, 18 Ks. And that's my time by myself, with no kids, with no one, just a casual 17 Ks.
Yeah, just a casual 18 kilometres on a Sunday.
That's my time for myself on my own, alone, to get my headphones on and just go out and cruise, because that's time that I very rarely get to myself.
And it's great that movement is your...
Exactly.
Like,
when
you're moving with the kids or you're moving
Yeah.
alone and that...
100%. And, you know, most people come to the gym to have their escape, whereas we don't get that because our kids come with us. So we don't really get that escape very often. Even when we come outside of gym hours to do our intervals, the 4 of these kids are with us and they're sitting up there on their beanbags while we're doing our sprints on these treadmills. Like, you know, so when I get that long run on a Sunday morning, I'm so grateful for that, and I just soak in every minute of it, because that's my time to just have an hour or two to myself to just go out and cruise and just enjoy being out there on my own, and, you know, have no thoughts and just shut off and enjoy the music and go for it. So we try to get in at least 1 to 2 structured runs a week. If it's not a long run, we'll try to do our intervals. We usually try and do them together if we can, but again, schedules sometimes don't add up. You know, I've got a full-time job at Wollongong Hospital at the moment, so I physically need to be there most of the days. Whereas my schedule's not as flexible at the moment, so when we can, we will get here and do them together. But if not, we will come on different days, and we make sure we're accountable. We do our videos and we send them to each other, and, you know, our pictures of our covered in sweat with our red faces saying I'm about to die and my heart rate's through the roof, but we do it, we get it done. We hold each other accountable for it. So it's what keeps me going is, you know, I love coming here. It brightens my day. I usually have a really hard day at work. You know, again, working at the hospital, I get to hear and see some, you know, interesting things, and coming here just allows me to just shut off and enjoy being with such a like-minded community. And, you know, they all love our kids as well. So bringing the kids here and having to train, if I'm in the middle of, you know, doing a 300-metre sprint on the ski, and I've got my 4-year-old Isla coming to me going, oh, Mum, I need to go to the bathroom, I know someone can just grab her and take her and go, and I know everything's fine. Or I've got to go for that 1K run, and she's crying as I'm running out the door, and someone's able to sit with her and go, you go for your run, she'll be fine when you get back. Yeah. Odd occasion, she'll jump on my shoulders or run down the street and back, which we've done many times. But it's unbelievable knowing that I can actually come and get my workout done because everybody around us is just so supportive, whereas other gyms we couldn't really do that. And that's what's made me want to stay here and what makes me bring more people to come here, because it's just, as a parent, your children are your first priority, right? So if you're coming here to achieve a goal and you can't achieve that because your kids are constantly pulling at you, knowing that you've got the trust and faith in other people around you to help with something, a task as small as, just taking it to the bathroom so you can get your 300 metres in, why wouldn't I stay and why wouldn't I train here? It's been unbelievable. We've got a massive amount of support here. So I almost now, I'm at a point now, I can't see myself training without my kids here. They've just become such a huge part of my training regime that, I know now to come, they've got their iPads, they've got their friends, they've made so many friends here with all the little kids that come, and that's just my day. My husband knows now he can go to soccer training and be super comfortable knowing he can go home, have a couple of hours break, go to training and know we're sweet here with the kids. And like Em said, 2 days a week I can only get half an hour done in a class, if that, because I've got to get to cheerleading, but I still come, I still get it done. Yeah. The kids are running around playing, and then, all right, time's up, bang, let's go, get in the car, let's go. And look, it feels like you're on the go all the time. The stress is high all the time. The cortisol's high.
Especially training 6 days a week. Like you were saying,
it's a lot.
2 runs and, your 2 Hyroxes and try and get 2 strengths in.
Yeah. And we don't do it because we have to, because we want this. Yeah. We do it because we enjoy it. We want to. We feed off each other. We're very similar in our aspirations. We've both got our kids. We both wanted this podium spot, but we also enjoy training together. Yeah. Our kids enjoy playing together. This, right? Exactly. So that community that we built and that friendship allowed us to get to this point. So, I can't see myself doing it without our kids here. And all of our sims, I can tell you right now, I think there was maybe 1 or 2 sims we ever did where we didn't have our children here, but every single sim we did in the lead up to any race we've ever done since last year, our 4 children have been here with us.
And I think it was you, Steph, that said it was weird when your kids weren't there.
Yeah, it is. It actually feels bizarre because you expect that interruption. Yeah. You know that someone's about to come to you and say, can you open this packet of popcorn for me? Yeah. You know it's going to happen. Yeah. And when they're not there, it feels really bizarre. Yeah. Like, I don't know if Em feels the same, but we're just used to having them with us all the time, and they've just become part of our entire training regime now. Yeah. So
being a mum is who you are, but also it's in what you do.
It is, that's right. And mum, my mum life comes first before anything, but they've moulded into this other life that I've created for myself where I can be strong and healthy for them and show them that as a woman and as a mother, you can actually be strong and fit and healthy and still work and still run a business and still be at home, still win things, still get dinner ready, still clean the house and all that kind of stuff, and still be there as a wife as well, especially, and that's the other thing, the support I get at home is massive. Like my husband Luke, without him, this wouldn't be possible because I can come here every day and train and get my long runs in because he's there. That support is absolutely massive. So it makes a big difference. So now the kids they're a part of everything. And, I love being a mum. I love training with them. When I'm massaging, they come in there. Like there's been a lot of days where I've opened up extra sessions for people to fit them in. And I've just said, sorry, I might have to have the kids with me. Yeah. No issue at all. Yeah. They sit there with their iPads. Zara will help me get the towels ready. And, it's one of those things, running a business with children. I've only been in this for a short amount of time, so Em's got more experience in this field, but it's hard. Yeah. It is so hard. And to do everything. And I feel bad sometimes dragging these poor little humans along with me, but there's been times where they've been here till 8:30 at night. But you know what? They've adapted. Kids are so resilient and they're sponges. They absorb everything. So they go back to school and say, I was with my mum at work. My mum was doing this. My mum won a race. My mum did this. And it makes me so proud as a mum and as a woman to actually see that, I'm such a good role model for these girls.
Habits,
yeah, honestly. Love it. Yeah, love it. Wouldn't change it for the world.
So I will train 7 days a week, and I know, I will include my 7th day, the holy day, as it would be classed as what is my long run. I don't run any more than 8 kilometres, and I didn't in that training block. My hip doesn't love it, but I'll still get that, what I would class as a long run in. But I will do at least one double day where I'll do a class, it might be a strength class, and then I'll do my intervals on that day. Sometimes I have to do it on the Hyrox day, and that, definitely fatigues me, but that those intervals are so important. So just getting them in is a major priority. And just making that work. Sometimes it is that, and I'm lucky enough that I work from home, but then I will just have like what I class as my lunch break closer to pick-up time, and then I just am driving to pick up like a sweaty mess. But having like friends and checking in with Steph and other friends who are into running as well, and just like messaging them when you're on your last interval, being like, tell me to stop being a little bitch and just get this done, because I am ready to hang my boots up. Yeah.
Don't bitch out.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's like, definitely, as much as sometimes you have to do those ones on your own, physically you've got like that virtual support of your friends and just checking in and going, I'm being held accountable to do this. But yeah, so that's probably sums up training. And
being a mum.
Yeah. And the same, I echo what Steph said. I do have, recently I've had my mother-in-law stepping in and picking them up from school, like a day here and there from
so you've got a good support.
Yeah, which again has felt really weird. And even the kids are like, we want to come to the gym. So they'll ask her to drop them to the gym. But yeah, just even that one day is like greatly appreciated, just because it, you'd always just seem to be driving. I know you'd feel like that. But yeah, the kids just want to come. They like to be around. I don't know. They like to be around me. I know that.
They do.
But yeah, and I think probably the most challenging thing about being a parent and training is that you're like, when your kid comes up to you and they're saying like, a sibling rivalry or something is happening, and so-and-so's hurt me or something, and you're trying to just bring your heart rate back down and parent and say, that's not the right thing to do. Just controlling your emotions in that moment is like, or anything is just, it's a tough thing, because you're going, your heart rate's up, your body's already like in this fight and flight response of like, I don't even need to be told this right now. And then you're like coming back down to be like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And then push a 200 kilo sled straight.
Yeah. Or a kid comes and jumps on it because they want to have a ride on the sled, it's like 223 kilos, but yeah, that's good. And again, the support of everybody is incredible, and we're all pretty forgiving. I think that was one of our ethoses when Josh and I opened the gym, was around making it like a community. Like there's nowhere that really allows families to train and be themselves. Like, it's, and we can understand why it is like that, because there are dangers of having children in a gym and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, it just allows families to be families.
And allows for you guys to achieve goals like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Parents here.
Yeah.
Without having to stick them in a little creche box that just
That
play on
they
their
don't
own while
want
they
to
cry.
stay in.
They
Yeah.
don't want to stay in. So getting them involved in things and letting them have that free space allows this to happen.
100%. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that was realistically the goal, was to, and that's why we don't have, the strict, if you're late, you don't come to the class. I mean, if you're late, you have moved mountains to get there. Like, trust me, we know, you're dealing with a tantrum, kids are tired after school, all of that kind of stuff. Like, if you're late, just come. Like, we're so grateful to have you here. So it's, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
And even on that too, like, obviously I manage here, but also being a coach, like, I know when parents are late and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm late. Like, and I'm like, you've got 30 minutes to just move your body.
Yeah, that's right.
You got 30 minutes to just think about nothing else but moving. Like, come do your thing. Or like, even if kids are on the gym floor, like, I'll always say, like, and it's really, as you said, like, you guys, like, you've built a community, and it's because of you guys and the community that you guys can have kids here. And same thing, like, if kid comes onto the floor, I'll always say, like, hey parents, obviously they're going to run to you. that's without a doubt, but try and like, you know, can we just move them off, or like, and the same thing, like even when kids come up to like me and go like, oh, I want my mum, and I'm like, she's literally just in the middle of a set. I was like, just wait 2 seconds. I was like, just literally wait here, and then you can go up to her. It's fine. Like, but and that's what you guys are able to train and achieve goals, because you've created a space, and like you've allowed the community to create that space too. Like I know kids, like I come in and the kids will run up to me for hugs and whatever, because they trust, as you said, like you have the trust within that community, and which is amazing. Deep dived into who you are and how you're training as parents and as human beings are. So we're now going to go to Sydney Hyrox Days, which was only a few days ago that this all happened, but we're going to deep dive into this. So Em, I know you had 3 events on in Sydney. Steph, you had 2 events on in Sydney. And I know, Steph, you were injured coming into this block as well. So I guess take us back to the first day. I know, Em, I might start with you because you were first. Take us back to your first event. You had your solo, first ever solo in Sydney as well. How was it being prepared into that day, like coming into preparation, like being in that tunnel, going like, this is actually now happening? Like, what was that feeling like?
That tunnel is totally unnecessary and fear-invoking. Oh my God. Like, and just like, ooh, you just got so much anxiety.
You do it on your own, I don't know.
I was not sure, because usually I have Steph there. No way. Okay. I was at the back.
No. I said to Todd, I was like, I'm at the back.
Yeah.
I'm actually over the curtain.
Always
like,
yeah.
not in that box.
I'm still not through the tunnel. Yeah.
In Brisbane, she wanted to leave the curtain.
Back this way?
She asked, and I said no.
Yeah. But yeah, I really wasn't sure how I was going to do that without my usual calming Steph with me, who's like, it's okay, we're going to do this. But, you know, I was pacing backwards and forwards, and then the person comes through to like push everybody forward, and he was like, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, I'm just trying not to shit myself. Yeah. I've had like a litre of honey. I've had a sour cherry pre-workout gel. I am just trying not to shit myself. Yeah. And then he's like, once you cross the line, it's fine. I'm like, yeah, sure, it's fine. Anyways, but yeah, once you cross the line, it is fine.
Yeah.
You know.
You're in the zone.
Yeah.
You've trained for this moment. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And I actually had a lot of fun. I had no pressure on myself to get any time. I mean, I was hoping for a quicker time, but I have never done, other than the sims that we do here every Sunday, I've never done a solo by myself in the actual arena, you know. So, yeah, no pressure. I mean, on the rower, you know, I was just heckling and having fun, you know.
Grey knees.
Rolling like, yeah, grey knees. Do I have grey knees? Yeah, so no, it was just a good lot of fun, and I was so lucky to have my family there as well, cheering me on. You also only got your ticket not that long ago, before the event. You waited for the second round of tickets, and then it was a rogue decision to even do a solo. It was a rogue decision, definitely. Yeah. I have a solo coming up in Perth, so I was like, oh, it might be a good idea just to practice, you know. Yeah, and so I am glad that I did that. And then, do you want me to talk about the next... So then, got 113. I mean, I got 30 no reps on the wall balls. If my judge is watching, I know you had it out for me, because I swear to God, we got footage of these reps, and they are like, the first 10, I understand. I was not getting low enough, and then I did, but there was not 10 no reps in there. You no repped me once. Head judge came over, and then you decided to just...
Em has never even... I think, like, had an aggressive bro nobody, never wanted to do any of that. I think she was going to punch on with this charge.
Yeah, you're lucky I wasn't.
I was like...
I'm going to hit someone. I was like, fair enough. That's fair enough.
I was even turning around to my dad being like, are you going to do anything about this girl?
Help me. I am the kid that needs the help now.
Father, I need you. Father. But anyways, got them done, you know, just did 130 wall balls at the end of a solo. 113, and I can't remember the seconds on it. But we're definitely going to get faster on solo, so that's the next plan for Perth. Yep. And then Pro came along. That was so Wednesday, and then Friday was Pro with doubles with Steph. We got into the warm-up area, and Steph was like, I just want to warm up, just do some running. So she's running. We should probably go and test this sled out. And I'm like, yeah, cool, we'll go. Anyways, because I had the experience as a soloist on the course with the sled, and I was like, oh yeah, you have to definitely get lower because otherwise it's lifting, all of this kind of stuff.
And the plan was you were going to do more of the sled because of my calf
injury,
which we'll go into. But
yep.
You had a plan.
So I was like, and there was a lineup of girls going to wait for this sled, right? It was just building as I feel like the entire crowd grew. But anyways, then I was like, yeah, so I'm just leaning on this fucking thing. Like, all I could do was lean effectively or really hard on the sled, and it was not moving. And I was just leaning on it. And I'm like,
this is me.
I can't move. I'm like, maybe it's the tape. It's probably the tape. I don't know. Anyways, I'm like, Steph, I can't move this thing. Anyway, Steph gets on after I've kind of just nudged it over the line a little bit. And then she pushes it, and I was like, okay, so how do you feel about 4 laps?
Yeah, it's like you can actually do the solo of the sled.
Yeah.
Your solo is the sled.
I think our souls left our body then, and we were like, shit, we're fucked.
Can't move this. Yeah. And I was like, okay, there goes any hope.
With pro weights, hey?
We were training with like 220 kilos, of sled. So
heavier.
We can do it.
Yeah.
we can push it.
On Friday.
Just
Yeah.
on Friday in the warm-up area.
That Friday warm-up zone was fucked. I don't know. It's like maybe there was honey on the track. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we kind of went in. I'm just going, I don't know what we're going to do. I just said to Steph, you're going to have to start the sled, and then I'll just do whatever I can. Anyways, we get to the sled. It all worked out fine. I could push the sled on that day. Thank goodness. But, yeah, that warm-up zone, it was not moving, and that really knocked me. I don't know about you. I mean, I'm sure you were thinking I'm going to have to do the whole thing, and Lord help me.
The sled did scare me because that's how my injury happened.
Yeah.
It scared me that I thought, shit, this was not the plan. We're now off plan. What do we do?
Yeah.
But, you know, again, as mums, you thrive in chaos and when shit doesn't go to plan, and we just adapted and we dealt with it and it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
And we have our splits. We have very consistent splits for our doubles stations, and we'll stick to them as much as possible while communicating. So if need a little bit more, or I can feel there's fatigue, or she can feel there's fatigue, we kind of just communicate. We were going in with this plan, and then it was like, how about the no plan?
So what's back up? Actually, what's plan B? What's plan C?
We didn't have a backup, so we were like, oh God, what do we do? We'll just wing it. And but it was fine. Like Em said, I started it, and once she saw that I was able to move, I actually heard it behind me go, oh, thank God. So once I stopped and then she jumped in, it was fine.
No problem.
Yeah.
And then we got to the sled pull, and it was like I had put on ice skates.
You're like, this is not,
because Steph's moving this thing, and then I jump on, and my shoes just were not sticking. And I don't know if I just didn't have the weight behind me. But, I could yank it. And I was just like, that was all I could really do was just yank, because I couldn't pull back. So that technique went out the window. And then, Steph kind of stepped in and did a little bit more on those sled pulls for us. Got it a little bit closer, so then it wasn't so far that I had to pull. So I was really, she really did that. And there's a moment in our photos that you can see me putting my hand out to high-five her, because I'm just like, you dominated that one. Then just everything kind of, we felt like we were running pretty slow, actually.
The runs felt very slow.
It was still a pretty good ending.
You got a good time. What was the time?
106.35, 25.
106.35, I think it was.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which, funnily enough, was our Brisbane Open time 10 weeks earlier.
And you did that in a pro weight.
And we did that in a pro
weight. Exactly.
And you felt and all in all, you felt confident in your pro, feel like you were gonna, because obviously you had the race before. Were you fatigued? Did you feel?
No, I didn't feel fatigued. The night after that, I felt sick. All I could taste was honey, because again, we really doubled down on that honey as our pre-race technique. And once again, gently bullied Steph into doing some honey.
I did not anticipate that.
And so your first solo went amazing. Happy. Pro weights, even better, except for the shoes and the slipping. Thanks for Steph for stepping in for the strength component. But in talking about that, Steph, you did mention that you had an injury. So to run us kind of through, I guess, what happened, what sort of injury you had, but also the feeling coming into the race, and especially your first race was pro. So, and it was, and I know that your injury, when you explained it, happened on the pro weight. So tell us how you were feeling. You know, what did it feel like in that tunnel as well? Like, what was that feeling of going into that race, going like, I'm like injured, I've just rehabbed this injury, what happens next?
Taking us back to April, Em and I did Brisbane Open doubles, so that was our second race together. Our first one was Sydney last year. We did really well in, yeah. We've only done 4 races together. So Sydney in July last year, Brisbane in April, and then the 2 races now, so 4, yeah. Yeah, that's all we've done. I know, right? Wild. Surprise, yeah. That's wild. So we did Brisbane, open doubles, we got 106.12. We were stoked with our time, like super, super happy. We came back, took a couple of days off, and I was thinking, I'll take a week off, you know, we got plenty of time before Sydney, didn't realise it was 10 weeks away. Shit, better get straight into training. So had a couple of days off, straight back into training. I remember it was a Thursday. I came that morning and did what did I do? I did a strength class at 5 a.m. that morning. So I did the strength class at 5. I came earlier to the gym and did my interval sprints. And straight after I finished my sprints, I went straight into a Hyrox class, which is every coach's worst nightmare. And
that's a lot of impact on the body.
And as a massage therapist, I would never, ever, ever recommend to anyone to ever do that. So again,
do what you say.
Do as I say, not as I do. Yeah. So all in all, that was already a recipe for disaster. So that day we had heavy sleds on the program. It was 200 kilos. So for context, pro weight for women, which is the open for men, is 152 sled push. We were pushing 200 on the day. I'd already pushed it maybe like 3 or 4 times on the day, so it was already fine. My body was clearly warm, it was fine. And I went to go push it for the last time, and I remember bracing, and I've gone to take off, and it's as if my legs or my body just did not want to switch on, and I felt a pop in my right calf. Didn't get any pain, but I felt a pop. And did you hear anything? I didn't know. Thank God for the music and everyone yelling at me going, hurry up, Steph. Yeah. I did not hear anything, but I felt it and I knew something wasn't right. Yeah. I remember looking up and I saw Em's face, and
so you saw something.
I don't think she realised something had happened until possibly the look on my face. I don't know, but I just looked at her and I knew in my, like, deep down something's not right here.
And especially, I guess, having the clinical background too.
Something wasn't right. So the first thing I did was I just planted my foot down, because my first thought was, did I just tear my Achilles? Because I thought if that's the case, it's over. Yeah. It's over. So I stood up and I was like, okay, I can stand, it's fine. And then I went to take a step and I basically almost collapsed to the floor. And I was like, shit, this is not good. Yeah. And that's when I think Em realised, okay, something's not right here. Yeah. I then tried to take more steps to walk, even tried to walk on my toes. I couldn't. I literally couldn't walk. I was stuck and I was like, fuck, this is not good. Yeah. And it was at that point I knew,
you've done your half.
This is it, it's over. So Em and Damon carried me over to the spa, and I stood in the cold plunge. And I remember I got my phone, because by the time I'd already walked over, which is next door, my calf had blown up like 2-3 times the size. So I knew something wasn't right. Yeah. So I picked up my phone and I rang Luke and I burst into tears and I was like, I think I've done something. And having a soccer background, and I explained what happened, and all he said to me was, babe, I hate to say it, but I think you've torn your calf. And I was like, no, I didn't. There is no way I've torn it. No way. Nah. So anyway, yeah. All in all, moral of the story, it happened, yeah. So I went to the GP that night, like literally took the kids home, showered them all with limping with one leg, hopping around, took them to the GP, medical centre. He's like, oh, no, everything's fine. You'll be fine in a few weeks. Maybe just book in to see physio and here are some crutches. So I was now on crutches. I was on crutches for 2 days, went to work the next day. The Saturday I had a 5.5 hour day full of back-to-back massages. So luckily Luke had a moon boot at home from when he had a fractured foot. Wore the moon boot while I was massaging. It was the most excruciating pain I'd ever had. And again, I just kept going into Eden, into the cold plunge and just sort of dipping my leg in there. The Monday I went and saw my physio, and Chris had a look and he assessed me. I walked in with no crutches or boot, but I was severely limping. Yeah. And he assessed me and basically said, I hate to tell you this, but you're looking at a grade 2 calf tear. And I said, so what does that mean exactly? And he said, what did he say? He said, 4 to 6 weeks, there won't be any running.
And you had...
And we had 8 weeks at that point left to Sydney, and I looked at him and I said, I'm sorry, but that can't be right because I have pro Hyrox in 8 weeks.
Run me through, I guess, like that feeling when you got told that, like you were kind of going like, no, it's not going to happen. What, like inside, what were you just going like?
I was devastated.
Yeah.
I've never had an injury before like this. I have hurt my back training before, but I've never, like the general niggles and stuff, tight muscles and stuff, I've never actually had an injury like this before. So my first thought was, shit, how am I going to navigate life at home with the fact that I can't walk properly? And 2, how am I going to do this race in 8 weeks, and how am I going to break the news to Em now that I've just torn my calf and I might not be able to race? Because to me, that pro race was everything for us. We did Brisbane, we were like, nah, we can definitely do a pro. So knowing that I was probably going to have to bail on her was absolutely killing me. But I'm also, I don't like to, not fail, but I don't want to, even letting myself down. I wanted to do this and I was adamant I wanted to do it. So I had to break the news to Em that I'd torn it. And she was excellent. Like, I could see she was devo about it, but she was like, look, if you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it. Like, don't push it, don't do anything. I was very lucky in the sense that I was able to still train around the injury. But as the weeks were going on and each week just felt like it dragged further and further and Hyrox was getting closer and closer, and I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to run this race? I still can barely walk properly on this leg. What am I going to do? So I said to Em at that point, I think this was probably about the beginning of May, and I said, give me until the end of May, because then that gives us 4 weeks until the race, and I'll let you know if I'm ready to race or not, because if not, then that gives her time to find someone else to take my place. But fast forward, when he said to me, what motivated me was when Chris said to me, 4 to 6 weeks, that you've got no running. And I looked at him and I said, watch me. Watch me. And you know what? In 3.5 weeks, I was running again.
And with clearance?
Well, a little bit.
When the physio said, I'd recommend it,
little bit.
I'm going to work with you anyway.
Little bit. But I followed the program to a T. I mean, there were days that I came here before massaging, and instead of doing a class, I was doing my single leg hops.
Well, I gave you hamstring curls. And
exactly.
In a Hyrox class.
Exactly. So I followed everything he said to me to a T, because I was not missing that race. I was not going to miss that race. And then somewhere in between all that, I somehow was convinced to do a second race, less than 48 hours later. So I was like, once I was able to start running again, my confidence just went straight through the roof, and I was like, you know what, I can do this.
So then that's when you guys signed up to the doubles on Sunday, wasn't it?
So I already had that ticket.
Okay.
Yeah, only because there was another girl in the gym who wanted to do it, but her doubles partner wasn't going to be able to do it with her, and I was like, I'll run with you. Like, we can do that. Yeah. Like, we were going to be chill, but like, she's pretty fast, so it was like, we're still going to try for something, you know. But yeah, then she ended up having a family commitment on that weekend and pulled out. And then I had a backup. They had just had surgery, but they weren't going to be able to get cleared to do anything. So it was like,
Steph, sorry, you're in.
So I just had this ticket, and I was like, kind of just asked around a few people. There was a few people. Some people had injuries, and I was like, listen, we don't have to run fast. We just keep it chilled, you know. And then when, you know, I just kept on kind of popping it over to Steph to be like,
so what's your thoughts, babe?
Still have this ticket.
Still don't have
It was at the point where we were personalising the tickets, and you texted me and said, what do you want to do? Do you want to do this race with me on Sunday or not? And I sat there staring at the message, and I was like, by this point I was cleared for running. I still hadn't been cleared on the sled yet, but I'd been cleared to run. And then I just went, you know what, fuck it. Let's just do it.
Little did you know, Em's already put your name down.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm just asking, like, you're already in, mate.
So,
As the email.
so basically, I agreed. And so, I still hadn't been cleared for sleds yet, but I was cleared to run. I didn't get cleared to push a sled until 2 weeks before the race.
That's crazy.
I did push it 3 weeks beforehand because, you know, I again do as I say, not as I do.
Just to see what it feels like.
And it felt okay. And
was that my class when you were like, I'm just going to see?
I think it was,
Okay.
And then we had it up on the TC page, and Chris, my physio, saw it, and I went to see him, and I'm like, I'm feeling great. And he's like, I saw you pushed a sled. And I was like, shit, I forgot about that.
I did.
But But it worked out well because I was
He then saw what
obviously,
you were doing.
I was more advanced in my rehab than what he had expected. So
which is good. That's
he
a good
tested
thing.
me that day and made me do all my jumps and all my hops and calf raises and stuff, and I was getting zero pain. And he gave me the clearance. But yeah, that was 2 weeks before our race.
Being in that tunnel for I guess the pros,
For the pro, yeah.
Like, how did that, like, did you have that in the back of your mind going,
No.
I'm going to have an injury?
No.
Or you just like...
Those last 2 weeks, once I got that official clearance, I totally even forgot that I had an injury. My body has felt incredible. I've not had, knock on wood, I've had no issues with my leg, with my calf, since I've had that injury.
Even nothing after all of this?
Even nothing after all of this, even after the weekend. No, I've had everything else that's felt sore, but my calf has been completely fine. So going into that tunnel, physically, I felt completely ready for it. Besides the issue we had with the sled push in the warm-up. But other than that, physically, mentally we weren't prepared, but physically I was very well prepared.
Okay, perfect. So
Very well prepared.
So N solo, awesome. Double pro, awesome. So run me through
Sunday.
our number one.
Our number
race.
one. So the race that was never even meant to happen, really.
I'll say, and
it
I
was.
guess, and like run me through, like, because obviously, as I said, you were two events deep. You already did one. Were you going into this going like, we're going to win it?
No, we literally saw this and went, in the weeks leading up, what were we saying? Like, let's just have fun with it. It's a second race. Let's just see how we go. Yeah. We had a feeling we were going to be pretty cooked by the Sunday, especially with Em having the solo as well. But we were very smart about our recovery in between. Yeah. So even though it was only like a day in between each of the events,
Pump the boots.
we got our compression boots on, which were an absolute lifesaver. Yeah. We fueled properly for it. I say we rested properly, but the night before the Sunday event, we both actually didn't have a very good sleep. But we recovered properly, between, which I think made a massive difference.
I was sleeping on a couch that doesn't fold out to a bed. It was a couch. Just a couch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
so there we go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I was at my brother's and I was in a bed that I am not normally in, so my pillow wasn't right, the mattress wasn't right. I also had some other issues that was happening the night before, right up until like past midnight, that I was texting Em about, and it was just, so it wasn't the most ideal sleep or anything, you know, and again, total last minute to even do this race. So we went in just going, whatever, let's just have some fun. Yeah. We're 8 a.m, we were the first wave off,
you were the first wave.
We, you know, having to get there as quickly as possible. Like I was in the car with Luke, and you know, I've got a cream that we were using like to help with lactic acid buildup, and I was in the car rubbing it on my legs while he's driving, and I got there with half an hour to go. By the time I caught up with Em, she's already got the honey tube in my mouth, and like we just were downing as much as we could. So we were just like, whatever, let's just go in and whatever happens. And I don't know, that race just feels like a complete blur because everything felt so strong.
Yeah, so
it was bizarre.
I guess my question would be, what did this race where you guys podiumed feel different to the first doubles that you guys did? And obviously it's different with pro weights and stuff, but was the feeling like different? Did it, like, were you actually more confident in your pros, less confident? Like what was it like being in that tunnel?
I don't know.
I didn't think we were going to get I thought we would get closer to the podium in the pro.
Yeah. Like, because there's less people all up.
Yeah, we still did
and you
incredible. But seeing some of the pro women in that tunnel, I mean, they're 10 times taller than us, broader shoulders.
Oh, yeah, they were strong.
They
were strong women, man. That was insane,
And then a lot of people call you pocket rocket because you just fly through burpees.
Exactly.
And fly through. Can't push sleds with shoes on, but can fly through burpees like Superman.
Exactly. But yeah, like, it was, you know, as much as some of those women were still in the open tunnel, it was just like, you know, they're just differently built.
Yeah.
And you couldn't anticipate it. And some of them are as small as us. Yeah. You know, it's just...
I think we thought...
What is it going to be on race day?
We thought we had more of a chance in pro.
So
that was why we got that ticket.
Where this was the backup,
Yeah.
I guess.
This was just, this was like, it was a throw-in, and it was only going to be us because of the fact that, like, those other two women dropped out. And that was fine. Like, I didn't really mind, but it was just more then we were like, okay, we'll just do this.
And we knew it was after 2 races already and after 1 race already. So we were like, let's just go in and whatever. But that's just us and our grit, and we just go in and it's a race at the end of the day, and we just went and still gave it another 110%. But again, similar to the runs, our runs, I don't know, I just didn't feel like we were running at the pace that it recorded us running at. Like, it felt a lot slower. But
you guys got sub 4 paces in some of those cases.
In pretty much all of them on Sunday. I think all of them on Sunday except maybe one or two.
Except for the first one, which was the same
the longer
distance, and the last one, but that was...
Otherwise they were all sub 4 minute pace. So, and it didn't feel like it on the day.
Yeah.
But it was just, and being letting out in that first wave, I think made a difference as well, because we went right to the back of the tunnel. Yeah. So everyone has taken off, and then we've caught up throughout all of our stations. And then when we got the shout out from the guy on the microphone when we were at the burpees, and he was yelling at Stephanie and Emily, and I was in the middle of doing a burpee and I didn't know what was happening, and I can hear him going, oh my God, they gave us a shout out. And then when we got to the rower, I remember Luke yelled out to me while Em was rowing and I was standing behind her, and he said, you guys are coming first. And I was like, what? And I looked over and then I realised we were sitting like 6th or something in our wave. And then he said, you guys are sitting first. And I thought, no, surely not. But I didn't think much of it. And and then it was after that point we took off, and then that's when we started to overtake people from the lunges onwards.
That's when I was doing maths on the run.
We were running, and Em was pacing me, and all I could see was her fingers doing this, and she was counting. Never once I looked at my watch for my time. Yeah. I always checked my heart rate. Yeah. I was always making sure my heart rate was good. Yeah. But I got to tell you, I think my proudest moment from that day on any of those stations was our wall balls. Yeah. Because we jumped in and we were like 30-something reps behind the girls in front of us, and we caught up to them. We were 3 minutes 30, 3 minutes 30 for our wall balls. I think it was a very similar time for the Friday as well. I think both days we were about the 3 minute 30 mark on our wall balls. Yeah. But and both days we were sitting about 30 reps behind, and we bloody caught up.
I want to ask, being that you were smashing it in your wall balls, what was your best station in your winning race, and what was your worst station, and did they feel any different compared to the other days that you guys competed?
Personal worst was the sled pull. On pro, I just was like on ice skates. I couldn't plant my feet, and then for open, they were totally different. Yeah. Where I went from, just doing the traditional rope down to then just going hand over hand, because I was like, fuck this. I'm not moving my feet. These are just...
You've got this natural steroids on the day.
I hope that someone has a video of the moment that Em just started doing the hand over hand pull in that open on that last pull, because my face, I've never seen her do that before. And my face turned around and I went looking around because I saw her do it, and I was like, who is this woman? Where did this come from? Because I've never seen her do that before. Yeah. We've never been able to do it. Yeah. I was mind blown.
And we both just have gels hanging out our mouths in all these photos, because we were just trying to fuel and just get those out.
So that in class and stuff, Steph, you've said it to me before, because you guys are obviously pocket rockets, you're quick, you're fast on your feet, burpees you just fly through and everything, but the sled, you've always said that the weights is what you're a bit more nervous about, the strength side of it. And when you see other women do the hand over hand, you're like, God, I wish I could just do that as easy. And then on the day, just comes in and goes, I'm just doing it. I'm just going to do it. So it's great. And I guess it's nice to also be a person that you guys are obviously winners and podiumers, and you still doubt yourself in some of those aspects to be like, oh, I wish I could do that, to then just go in and do it, so you can see what your body can actually do and what you can actually achieve. So worst stations, pool. But I mean, I was gonna say it was better than what it was in the pro. But Steph, what was your best station in your winning race?
Best station in the winning race, I have to say for me, it's burpees. Yeah. I'm very quick and I can jump very far on burpees. Yeah. And I would get the tail end of the burpees, so I can get myself over that last line, and I can do less reps, but I can jump further. There was one that I had just had the back of my heel land. I almost got it, but then I did the last burpee. But then when we went around and did the next lap, I don't know how far it was, but I cleared a massive jump, so I didn't have to do another burpee. So burpees for me are always have been my favourite station. That's why I judged it in Brisbane. Yeah. Always been my favourite. I just find, because of my height, I can jump quite far. So whilst I'm quick getting up and down off the floor, but I find I can jump quite far, and I can keep myself cool, calm, controlled.
What was your burpee time?
2:36, I think it was.
Something like that, yeah. I can't even remember.
You did burpees in 2 minutes 36.
The burpees are just my favourite station. My farmer's carry for the pro was probably my worst.
Yeah.
I did have to drop them towards the end to give them to Em because my forearms felt like they were locking up.
Yeah.
And I got a very bad cramp on the last run, and I think it was because I was hunched from the farmers. So the right side of my obliques actually cramped up in that last run, which was at the same time you yelled at us that we were sub 66, and Em turned around and yelled at me that it was sub 66, and I was running in the video with my fingers into my stomach because I thought I was about to pass out, but we managed it and we did it and it was fine. Yeah.
And so obviously ran through, what did you get in your burpees?
In pro was 236, burpees in open was 237.
You were right on par, so you literally did your winning time pretty much in both. That's crazy. So obviously race completed, you guys have gone through that finish line with a sub 66 as well. Crazy. Tell us, I guess, because obviously at that point you guys were first in your wave and like you were sitting first in your age group, but you were the first wave. 3 more hours of waves, and waves go every 10 minutes. So it's 3 hours of waves. What was that feeling like sitting in that? Because obviously, like when you're running, I don't know, for those of you who don't know, when you're on the app and the Roxfit tracking you, it says you're first, like it says first in age group, but then once you finish it, obviously adjust to where you're sitting in your age group overall, but yours obviously didn't adjust because you were actually first in your age group out of all of the days. Tell us that feeling sitting there for 3 hours watching the other waves go through going, oh my God, are we still first in age group or what's happening?
Much drained my battery, refreshing. My family just sitting around, I'm going, I'm so sorry, this is so rude. But I just need to keep, and then I was just going into all the other stats, watching our age group, seeing who was live. I can't do maths. So even me doing maths on the run was like really basic. And then, so just trying to figure all that out and then getting updates from like yourself saying mathematically you're working out like perfectly fine.
Yeah, exactly. Math in the car. It was like, it has to be it.
Yeah. It was like definitely nerve-wracking, like and you're just waiting, because I remember when we first did our first race, we came off our race at third and we sat at third. We held it for almost the entire day, and then we dropped 2 spots, and it dropped like that, and I was just like, we have a longer way to fall from being top, and so I was expecting it to drop maybe 1 or 2. And that we could hold our podium spot.
We were just very lucky we had the distraction of, we had the kids there, so Em was like, I'm just going to go to the painting section, I'm going to go to the park, and she was like just disappearing around. I had to stop myself from checking the app because it was eating me alive. But then all the updates kept coming through in the chat that we had, and it was everyone going, oh my God, they're still first. And I'm looking at Luke and I'm like, oh my God, I think I've got this. I think we've got it. I think we've come first. Like, I can't believe this. But at the same time, we've got Josh and Nate trying to get ready for their race because their race was 20 minutes after the flag ceremony was meant to happen. But we were all trying to get excited and pump them up. But at the same time, we're waiting for the final results to see if we were still going to get this. There was just so much happening that we just couldn't, we finished the race. We didn't see each other for I reckon an hour afterwards anyway, because we split and then we were both doing our things and stuff, but we're still messaging each other going, oh my God, are we going to get this? Is this happening? I think I fell into silence for half an hour at one point. I just didn't want to talk to anybody because I thought there is no way we are going to get first in. Even when we finished, when we crossed that line and we saw that time of 1:02, I can't tell you how loud she screamed. And there's footage of us jumping and our arms are getting thrown around in the air and we were screaming because it was so unexpected. So when we came out after we've taken our photo, when everyone said to us, you're sitting first, I thought there's no way. We just did not expect it was going to happen. And then to hold that throughout the whole time, and then the moment it hit, when we were like, oh my God, this is it, we got it, we got first. And I remember looking at Luke and I was like, I did it, I came first. And he was like, holy shit. And I was like, we came first. And then Em's like, I'm coming to find you to give you a hug, we got it. And I'm like, we're over here, quick. It was extremely, extremely surreal. We worked hard, we knew we were going to do well. We just didn't expect this, first place.
You said this race wasn't meant to even happen for you both. Like,
Yeah.
so you like, as much as you were gunning and you have been training so hard, like, as I said, I'm a coaching class. I know how hard these girls go. But like training for it so hard, like this was the end goal no matter what, when you were going for a podium. But to be in a race where you guys are like, yeah, we'll just do it. Like, we'll just see what happens. And that, like, this is what the outcome is, right? Like, and it does show, like, your hard work, really.
Yeah.
Like, and actually...
We worked hard.
Yeah, like, you worked hard for this, and it literally shows. Like, you've literally got a flag to go home with and hang it in your house because it's yours and you own it. Like, it's yours. Like, you guys own it. So, coming first in the 35 to 39 category, amazing work. Obviously, time had come, you knew that this was it, you've won. Like, you get to go up to the actual ceremony now and you actually get to stand on the podium. What was that feeling when they called out your name? You were going up to collect your number one flag. What was that feeling like when they said, give it up for Steph and Em?
We had no idea what to wear. We basically stripped back down to our race gear. Everybody else is in tracksuits, so we're just like naked, hugging people on stage. You know,
We were a first timer.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to like be really conscious of the fact that we honour the other, you know,
Other podium.
Oh, for sure.
people who podiumed, and you know, try not to come across too like, ugh, but also like,
You also won.
you know, like just revel in the moment, you know, like be excited. Why can't you be excited? And you know, we can be excited for them. They be excited for us, like as much as it might hurt.
Like, you could see.
Yeah. So it was definitely like, and still like, it's, I don't know, it still hasn't really sunk in. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to feel when you come first, you know, because we haven't, this is the first time. You can't, it's kind of just like, okay, we did this. And then you're thinking, what's
Now
next?
what?
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
How do you feel, Steph?
Very much similar. When we realised we'd won it, and we literally went up to some people that work there and were like, we think we've won. What do we do and where do we go? Yeah, we literally had no idea what we were doing. We were literally first timers. We're like, where do we go? What do we do? And they're like, I think this is where the stage is going to be. And we're like, okay. So then we waited, and then there was like a 20-minute delay for the results to come in. So Josh and Nate couldn't stay around. Josh couldn't even stay and watch Em get the flag because he had to go, because his wave had to take off.
Which we were feeling bad about missing their wave as well. Like.
We wanted to be there for their race. So that was already enough shambles in that moment as it was. But you know, just standing there and, you know, feeling like our name's just about to. I actually said it at one point. Luke said to me, just go, you need to go closer so you can get up there. And I actually remember saying to him, what if our name doesn't come up? Yeah. What if we actually didn't get it? Because it still didn't feel real that we had come first. I said, imagine that. I said to him, what if I go up there and they don't even call our name out and we just turn around and go, oh my God, how embarrassing. That was not even us. I still had it in the back of my mind because it was that surreal that we just didn't get it. Yeah. And then there it is. Our names popped up there and they said it. And I was like, you know what? We got it. Like, it was, I'm not used to winning a lot of things. So this is, you know, I've been to a lot of soccer games over the, you know, 16, 17 years Luke and I have been together and watched him win grand finals and stuff. So I've seen what it's like to win, but I've never been on the other side of it.
You've always been the supporter.
Yeah, so it felt good being up there and standing up on that number one and having the best person ever right beside me to do it with. You know, we've put blood, sweat and tears into this training, even from over the last year that we've been getting ready for it from our first race ever. It was just, soak it all in, baby. We did it.
Sorry, if you guys are willing to share, what's next? What's your next goal? What's going to be your next race drive? What are you hoping to get after this?
Sydney's done. We're done. At Perth. So Josh and I are going to do a mixed doubles in Perth. Yep. He wants to run a 3:30 pace.
Pray to God.
I'm like a third of the size in length of him. So definitely just keep on going, keep moving. I've got my solo in Perth. I definitely want to get a better time. I want to be close to that sub 66, I think. And I'll just be working on those faultless wall balls. And trying to get a better judge. And then I'm hoping that Steph will say yes to Melbourne, not Perth. We know Perth is not happening. To Melbourne.
And first again, well, hopefully podium.
Podium, yeah, at least,
Doubles
yeah.
again, or in pros, or
I think we might do both, but I mean that's
Probably do both.
yeah. I might do 3, but yeah, we'll see how it all pans out.
So this is what happens. There's the plan, and then I just go with
That
it.
is the plan. But I'm guessing
tickets, yeah.
same goal, like you want to podium again.
Well, yeah, I would definitely love to podium again for sure, but I was very adamant a week ago, saying I'm not doing any more Hyrox for the rest of the year. Very, very adamant.
So Em's got a different plan.
Yeah. So now we have come first, and that plan has now changed a little bit. I still am very focused on doing a bigger strength block. I really want to focus on building my strength up. Again, because I need my hamstrings, my glutes, my back. I really want to do. I've got a lot of strength I want to bring up. I know you'd like that one.
I do like that.
And I do want to get faster in my running, so I want to start doing a lot more intervals and get that pace a little bit quicker. And I had no intention of doing any more Hyrox races between now and at least Brisbane next year, but now I'm getting very quickly convinced to potentially do Melbourne, if I can convince my family to go down. But I would like to try solo.
Yeah.
I did about 2 solo sims when Em was training for hers, and I did say to her I'll keep training and doing some solos while she's doing sims for hers, so I'll be right there with her even if it's not a double, so I'll be right there with her practicing anyway. So I'd like to try solo and probably would do one in Melbourne if we do, and yeah, I definitely would like to do another pro doubles, and why not, let's just throw an open in there because that's just what we do. But now that I've got the feel, it's I can understand why it's so contagious to people. The races themselves were just, so much fun seeing what we could do, but knowing we could pull this bag out of a hat, so let's do it.
Before we finish up, I have to ask, what would be one piece of advice that you would give to other competitors like yourselves, other athletes like yourselves who are mums, working full-time, business owners, people who are trying to podium, try and get that flag? What would be your one bit of advice, one thing that you would do, change, etc.?
Might sound a little bit harsher, but not. No excuses. There are no excuses. I know a lot of people that, I don't have time, I don't have this, I can't. No, sorry, but if we can do it with multiple children, running businesses, working full time, getting 5 hours of sleep a night, don't drink water for 3 days, sorry Sal, there is no and we can still get here. Sorry Zara, you've got cheerleading that you have to be there at 5:30 and the class starts at 4:30. I'm going to go get half an hour in, or 40 minutes if I can. There are no excuses. There is time for everything. You just need to make that time. You need to prioritize it. Because I did, and we got this. Yeah. It took time, like Em said, it took time. There are days where the kids don't want a bar of coming to the gym. Yeah. The last place they want to be is here, or the last thing they want to do is me stick one of them in a pram and go for a run when it's 13 degrees outside. But there's no excuses. Like, get out there and do it. Every chance you get, you make the time to do it. Yeah. And I did that, and I also am very lucky that I was able to get the support from Luke, that I was able to do a lot of it. But 80 to 90% of all my training was with the kids. Yeah. No excuses. Yeah. We all have kids. We all work jobs. We don't do this for a living. We're 2 mums from Dapto that just, we met it from training at the gym, and we just had, similar situation, age with the kids and stuff. We had a common goal. We made time for it. We had no excuses. We did it. And this happened eventually. So you know what? Anything's possible. You just need to make the time to do it, and you will never regret it. You will never regret it.
Thank you so much, ladies, for taking the time to sit with us. And I know this isn't going to be the last that we see of you guys. So keep training, keep it up. You got it.
We got it.
You got it.
We did it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.